Okay, YouTube. Now, I've already started this process a little bit, so just to be a jump ahead, but I'm going to give you the gist of it. What I ended up doing, as you can see here, is I've already Mod Podged some of this container. Now, what I did is I wanted the sides to be black, so I got some black construction paper that I had left over. It doesn't matter if it's perfectly symmetrical or not. This is all basically pieces of it that I just cut to fit the sides, and a piece that I cut to fit the bottom. That's basically it. It's not perfect. It's not flawless. You're not going to see any of this, I promise you, with your finished product, depending on how you're going to want to do this. Now, what I'm going to do next is this. I already selected the picture that I want in front, which is this lovely picture of Miss Marilyn Monroe, and I already selected the side that I wanted to put it on, and I'm going to put it on this front side. Now what I'm going to want to do is this. This already has its cut edge and everything, so I don't need to cut anything out. So all I'm going to do is get the Mod Podge, dip it into the container with my applicator, and I'm just going to spread this Mod Podge all over the container on the front of where my design is going to, the picture is going to be. Now you want to be generous with your Mod Podge. Don't be greedy with it. Literally slather it on there nice and thick. I am going to have this picture going all the way around, so I am going to put more on the bottom too, just as for the picture to adhere very nicely to it. And then after this step, you are going to want to I'll show you what you're going to want to do next, okay? So again, you're just going to want to slather on that Mod Podge. Be very generous with it. Don't be stingy. And just make sure you have it all covered up, okay? Now here is the picture that I am going to be using of Miss Marilyn Monroe. Oops, it's a little piece of somebody's texture. Okay, let's take that off. And I'm just going to line it up on here. And you're just going to want to press it down nice and firm and make sure it's how you want it to look on your container, and it's just going to be like that, okay? That's how it's going to look. Now I'm just going to wrap the picture down so that way it can go to the bottom, and I'm just going to flatten it out as best I can, and try to get it as aligned as possible. You do have some playtime here, so do what you need to do, but just kind of be a little bit quick about it. Don't be some molasses in your ass type person, okay? Now, of course, I have some free edge back here on the back here. So what I'm going to do on that part is I'm just going to roll it up. And I'm going to get some of that Mod Podge again and just slather it on over here on that back end. And be generous with it. Just drop the little drop. And that's what I'm going to do here. And then I'm just going to roll that over that. This is going to be a messy job. It is up to you if you want to wear latex gloves. I really don't, because it is water soluble and it does wash off easily. It actually peels like white glue, actually, what it does. Okay, so there you go. Everything nice and smooth. But do be careful when you're using your hands, because you can ruin the picture if you're not careful with it. Okay, so there you go. That is already adhering. Doesn't that look pretty? That looks cute, doesn't it? I think it looks really cute. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some more Mod Podge, and I'm just going to put it all over the picture. Now, they have different finishes of Mod Podge, semi-glossy, glossy, and matte. I am using the matte finish right now on this item, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to roll that whole product all over the front and everything, so that way it looks evenly distributes the Mod Podge through the image, okay? And again, I just go all over the corners to make sure it gets all over there, so that way it's all a smooth transition. And there you go, like that. And then I'm going to do again the same thing with the bottom. And I'm just going to do that. And just make sure you spread it out evenly. Now, in between each picture, you're going to at least want to let it dry as much as possible, so that way it can look proper. So what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to let this dry now, and then I'm going to apply some of the Mod Podge on the other side. Because the other side, I do have another picture I'm going to put of Miss Marilyn Monroe, and that. Now I'm going to just let this dry for about maybe half an hour or so, and then I will be applying the next picture that I will be putting on her. Okay? Be back. YouTube, I'm back. Okay, so here's part 3. I think it's part 3 of this series of this do-it-yourself project. As you can see, Marilyn's already dry, pretty much. She's still a little tacky because I only gave her a few minutes to dry, but I wanted to get this video up and going for you guys as soon as possible, so I wanted to go as fast as I can. As you can see, here she is, and there she rolls over, and I have one side left. Now, all I'm going to do for that side is basically just add some more Mod Podge. I already picked out the picture I wanted. I cut it and trimmed it to fit this little spot here, as you can see. And all you're going to do again is just Mod Podge it. Saturate the side with some Mod Podge. And just be a little bit generous with it. Don't be afraid of the Mod Podge. It's like your best buddy right now. And just slather it on there nice and thick. And just keep it going. And all you're going to do is put your picture on there. Fit it to the size that you need it to fit. And just place it down. And then just press it into place. And press it into place. That's all you're going to want to do. And again, I cut this a little bit shorter because I didn't want it to interfere with the other picture that I have. So as you can see, it's like that. And then I'm just going to Mod Podge over that. Okay. And I'm just going to go a little bit over the bottom part with the Mod Podge, just a little bit. And then a little bit on the sides, just a little bit again. Just a little bit. Just so I can get that seam a little more flawless. That's this crease there. I just want it to be a little bit more smooth. And there we go. If you don't like the little creases that are in here, if that bothers you, you can also lay like another piece of paper down, but this part's going to be in the back because this happens to be my favorite side, so that's how I'm doing it. So this is just to cover the back part of it. If you want it to be more smoother, you can lay down more of the black paper or of your design or whatever you want. So it can be more smoother, but I really am not that nitpicky about it. I just like how it looks when it's all done. Okay, now I'm going to let that set for another about 10-15 minutes, and then the second part of this thing will be done. Okay, so we'll be right back. Now let's get this last part started on this video. Now as you can see, Marilyn's already all the containers already Mod Podged up, and it looks absolutely fabulous. Love how it came out already. Now, last things are going to be like embellishments and stuff like that. So, I have this like silver cord that I really love to decorate with this because I don't like to leave the lid top front part to look like this. So, what I'm going to do is, let me see, measure out how much I need. So, what I'm just going to basically do is just trying to get the circumference of this. And I just kind of pretty much eyeball it. And then I'm going to use my high-tech glue gun. That's as fancy as I'm getting here with this project, really. And Mod Podge, that is. Okay, so basically I'm just going to measure out the circumference of this. And I want to see how much I need. And I always cut a little bit over so that way I have a little extra to play with. If I need to cut a little bit more, then I can cut a little less and trim. So here's the part that I'm going to use to wrap around the circumference. And then the top part of it right here, the center. And I'm just going to eyeball that again too, and that way I can cut it down the center and see how much I'm going to need. And I'm going to, if I can get this here. And then I'm just going to cut a little extra over so that way I could just cut that off. Now I'm also going to cut 3 sections off of here, 1, 2, and 3, so it'll look neat. And I'm just going to eyeball it And if you need to cut, I always cut, like I said, a little extra off, just so I can have some play room, wiggle room. Ooh. If it comes apart like this, then just cut it off. And this one actually came apart, so we'll take the string out. And again, we're just going to eyeball it. And I would like to cut, like I said, a little extra. And that way I can just... Gosh, I keep dropping this.
My husband and I sleep in the same bed, but we're strangers.
What can we do? We took our sacred vows.
That we did.
Alone?
Yes.
Sometimes I wonder what it would
There you
be
go.
like.
So there's the 3 pieces and the circumference, and then that's all we're going to use. And that's basically all we're going to do. And again, you're just going to get this part, the long one that you're going to use, the circumference, and I'm just going to eyeball it out a little bit and see how I want it to look, and then
To other people, of course.
yeah, there we go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get one little bead of glue just to get it started. Just to get it started and get it a little centered already. And then I'm just going to work it down and in. And just hold it down for a few seconds. I don't want to burn myself with that glue. So you can see I'm just going to hold it down there for a few seconds.
Did your husband get delayed?
Yes.
I gotta tell you, if I was
Now what I'm going to do is kind of sort of roll it up just a little bit.
It's a male horse, you idiot.
And then the rest I'm just going to slowly and easily just kind of get that glue gun. God, I'm like horrible. My hands shake really badly.
Very good, man.
And all I'm going to do is just slowly squeeze out glue slowly over the rim.
So the whole thing was a big joke, huh?
Make sure it goes over the edge a little bit.
I'm laughing.
And I'm just going to
Well,
hold it into that spot. And again, be careful with the hot glue gun. You don't want it to burn yourself. Oops, there goes the little strings. As you can see, it's going to stay like that. There you go. I'm sorry for the lighting. It's already getting late, so it's hard to tell what's really going on here. And again, I'm just going to do the other side the same way. And you're just going to wrap this cord around your design as you can. Do that slowly. And then just, there you go. Gently press it down. And then you're going to do your all other sides. Okay? Be right back. I already laid down the center of these already. As you can see, hopefully, it is the center cords that I had here. And all I did was lay them down. And I'm not Martha Stewart, so I'm sorry to say that I'm not flawless with my applications and stuff. But as you can see how it's starting to look and how it's starting to come around and look really nice and put together. Now the last thing I'm going to do is put the center cord that I have here that I could place right in the center. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to show you is just get the glue gun, and again I'm just going to put a bead at a time for the section. I gotta get this glue gun. I think I need a new glue gun. And I'm just going to put the glue down and just slowly adhere it to this area. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'm putting it section at a time. And all I'm going to do is just lay this down here. I just do this for decorative reasons. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. Again, this is just me doing this because I like the way it looks when it looks a little bit more finished. And I'm not really that great as a crafter, but this is my form or way of doing it. And again, if you don't want to do this part, you don't have to. I just feel it looks a little bit more neater. It looks a little bit more put together. And I just happen to like the way it looks that way. And again, I'm just going to glue it and then just put this in place, and that's it. And excuse my stringy fingers going everywhere. And there you go. Now, if you're going to add rhinestones, which you can, I recommend you use like a quick glue. Do not use like the E60 glue, only because it's hard to grab the glue with it, with the rhinestones. At least I find it difficult. Okay, so there you go. This is your finished product. This is what it looks like. Oh, the glue's still a little warm on there. But it's okay. But there you go. This is what it looks like. It's done. This is what it's done, finished, and looks like already. And all I got to do is add some rhinestones. And you will see the finished results on my Instagram and how I did it. Okay? Thank you, YouTube, for watching this. I know it was a kind of a little bit long video. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope it was helpful. Again, I know it's not, it is an easy project, and it really isn't difficult at all. And that's really all I gotta say. I know it's probably not the most perfect project or the nicest or the neatest, but it is mine, and I made it myself. So, and I think it looks pretty good for being me. And if you're going to nitpick at it, then nitpick all you want. I really don't care. But I made the effort to do something for my makeup room, and I did it myself. And it basically cost me $2 and nothing else for the pictures, because those were free. And this is the other stuff I had on here I've had already. And again, you will see the finished product on my Instagram at Fluffy7285 and on my Pinterest at Fluffy7285. Don't forget to like, thumbs up, subscribe, do all that kind of good stuff if you can or want. Alright? Peace out and much love to you from your girl Fluffy, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye!